1. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. This quote reminds us that your choices shape your identity. 2. Your passion is waiting for your courage to catch up. This quote reminds us that boldness unleashes purpose. 3. Magic is believing in yourself. If you can do that, you can make anything happen. This quote reminds us that self-trust is empowering. 4. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. This quote reminds us that create your own pathway. 5. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. This quote reminds us that dreams need action and bravery. 6. If you want to fly, give up everything that weighs you down. This quote reminds us that let go of fear and baggage. 7. Be stronger than your excuses. This quote reminds us that self-discipline wins the day. 8. Success isn't about how much money you make. It's about the difference you make in people's lives. This quote reminds us that impact is the real wealth. 9. Work hard in silence. Let your success be your noise. This quote reminds us that let results be your voice. 10. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. This quote reminds us that consistency is the key to finishing. 11. Do one thing every day that scares you. This quote reminds us that growth lives outside your comfort zone. 12. Don't be afraid to start over. It's a chance to build something better. This quote reminds us that fresh starts bring fresh hope. 13. Energy and persistence conquer all things. This quote reminds us that keep pushing forward. 14. Turn your wounds into wisdom. This quote reminds us that pain can become purpose. 15. Success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference to the world. This quote reminds us that true success is service. 16. Push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. This quote reminds us that motivation must come from within. 17. Start each day with a positive thought and a grateful heart. This quote reminds us that mindset shapes your day. 18. Sometimes we're tested not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. This quote reminds us that trials reveal power, not just pain. 19. The best way to predict the future is to create it. This quote reminds us that take initiative to shape your destiny. 20. Success is not in what you have, but who you are. This quote reminds us that true success comes from character. 21. Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. This quote reminds us that stay focused, not distracted by recognition. 22. Don't count the days, make the days count. This quote reminds us that live each day with purpose. 23. Do not wait for the perfect time and place to enter, for you are already on stage. This quote reminds us that start now with what you have. 24. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. This quote reminds us that action beats waiting for ideal conditions. 25. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. This quote reminds us that growth matters more than the prize. 26. If you're not willing to risk the usual, you'll have to settle for the ordinary. This quote reminds us that greatness requires stepping out of comfort. 27. Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. This quote reminds us that risk brings reward. 28. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. This quote reminds us that faith in your vision is powerful. 29. What we fear of doing most is usually what we most need to do. This quote reminds us that fear shows where growth is hiding. 30. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. This quote reminds us that personal growth is the real solution. 31. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. This quote reminds us that it's never too late to begin again. 32. Chase the vision, not the money. The money will end up following you. This quote reminds us that passion attracts success. 33. Success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. This quote reminds us that keep your spirit strong through setbacks. 34. Opportunities don't happen. You create them. This quote reminds us that be proactive, not passive. 35. Failure is another stepping stone to greatness. This quote reminds us that learn and move forward. 36. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. This quote reminds us that great change starts with small steps. 37. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. This quote reminds us that your attitude shapes your life. 38. Action is the foundational key to all success. This quote reminds us that nothing happens without doing. 39. A goal without a plan is just a wish. This quote reminds us that strategy turns dreams into reality. 40. There are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. This quote reminds us that success is earned, not found. 41. We generate fears while we sit. We overcome them by action. This quote reminds us that do something and fear fades. 42. Don't limit yourself. Many people limit themselves to what they think they can do. This quote reminds us that break your own mental boundaries. 43. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. This quote reminds us that keep going no matter the result. 44. It always seems impossible until it's done. This quote reminds us that limitations dissolve with persistence. 45. Failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is strong enough. This quote reminds us that resolve is stronger than setbacks. 46. Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. This quote reminds us that pain shapes greatness. 47. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. This quote reminds us that courage defines the scope of your life. 48. All progress takes place outside the comfort zone. This quote reminds us that growth demands discomfort. 49. Success doesn't just find you. You have to go out and get it. This quote reminds us that action fuels achievement. 50. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. This quote reminds us that build systems, not just inspiration. Thank you for spending this moment with the Mind Shelf. Let this quote stay with you, and may your day be filled with peace and purpose. If it stirred something in you, don't let it fade. Reflect, share, and let's grow together, one thought at a time. What does this quote mean to you? Share your thoughts below. Your words might inspire someone else today. If you'd like more gentle wisdom and soulful reflections, don't forget to subscribe and join our growing mindful community. And if you're watching this as you wind down, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and carry this wisdom into your dreams. Until next time, rest well.